I don't know what to say. I have 4 pages here. Oh, my word. Oh, gosh. I don't know what to say. I'm just overwhelmed by all of this. I feel so very, very humble, so deeply honored that you would give me this, this most prestigious award. And one thing I have to say, I'm not sure Bill Downs would be very happy about this. The one time I met him, he asked me if I was Lee Fisher's secretary, and if that was any fun. Luckily, I was not Lee Fisher's secretary, but being part of LFA and knowing and working for Lee certainly was fun. I'm just sorry that all of you here who did not know him couldn't have known him, because he was just such a remarkable person, charismatic, and he wasn't a wing-it guy. On his personality, I think he could have gotten along just fine, but he always did his homework, he was always prepared, he always went the extra mile, and he was an awful lot of fun, I'll say that. I just feel how lucky I have been. I still can't get over this. When Lee hired me in January of 1961, it was on a 3-month trial basis. Lee said that he doubted if the industry would ever accept a woman consultant, and he was willing to give it a 3-month trial if I was willing to do so. Well, obviously, 25 years later, when I retired for the first time in 1986, I was willing to give it a try. So, let's see, I'm losing my notes. In any event, I feel such an eternal debt to so many people, and I hope that you will bear with me just for a few minutes, I hope not too many minutes, so that I can acknowledge some of these persons. First, of course, is Lee himself. He was charismatic, he was visionary. I have a feeling I'm repeating myself, and I apologize. And he was creator of so many industry concepts, both from a financial and planning standpoint. And of course, the Tampa airside, landside separation concept was his real baby. And he always said, and I don't believe it, that he and Herb Godfrey did it on the back of an envelope. It just simply can't be. He was such a tremendous consultant. He always did his homework. He was always prepared, and he would always go the extra mile. But most of all, I think, well, it really wasn't most of all, he was just a lot of fun, and he made things fun for everybody. He enjoyed life to the hilt, and sadly, he died in 1977 at the age of 55, far too soon. Then after, I do also want to acknowledge the role of Bob Joerger. I'm not sure that many of you people know him. A few of you olders might remember him. Bob took over the company when Lee stepped down, and the company was just about 8 persons strong. Bob grew LFA through sound business planning and principles. He was really a tough mentor, but he supported me to the nth degree. It helped a lot that he did not like to travel, and I did, or at least I was willing to travel. And I owe to him this considerable debt indeed, that I was the first woman elected from the ranks to the partnership in Pete Marwick Mitchell. It was then Pete Marwick, Maine. I still, to this day, don't know how Bob pulled that one off, even though the affirmative action program had come into being and the male-dominated accounting firm of KPMG really needed a woman partner. But I was not an accountant, and I couldn't even balance my checkbook. I still can't do that. But somehow I'm told that Bob had quite a way at these partners meetings. If there was something he wanted to get done, he followed the Russian model and took off his shoe and pounded it on the table. It seemed to have a very good effect. After Bob came Chris Orman, Bob's hand-picked successor, who was and is as solid as the Rock of Gibraltar. Chris was determined to keep the LFA family together as it grew and to retain the very special camaraderie we all had for many years. Chris grew LFA to almost 100 employees, the highest number until it went into Jacobs Engineering. And he was highly regarded in the industry for his technical prowess and his integrity, which he still has a full measure of, believe me. Chris is now lending his talents, which are considerable, to the American Red Cross. Then finally, there's Nick Davidson, an extraordinary management consultant who continued to give me my head until my final retirement and who has just stepped down from the presidency of LFA. Interestingly, Nick is the only leader of LFA after Lee who was or is a pilot. He flew for the RAF for 8 years and continues to fly, I understand, his own plane for pleasure. You know, I can't, as much as all these top people mean so much, and someone out there will laugh, I would really feel remiss if I didn't acknowledge the contribution to my success and to the success of LFA of our support staff who are with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and somehow keep us all afloat. Of course, there are others to whom I am so grateful, and so very, very grateful, are the clients who accepted me and let me work with them over the years on so many important and challenging projects. George Bean and Jim Johnson at Tampa for about 30 years, starting in the 60s. Dick Metler, whom I hope is still living, but I haven't heard from him for a long time, in El Paso, Texas, and then San Jose. Josh Birmingham and Jerry Orr at Charlotte, North Carolina. Max Walker, George Berry, and Calvin Carter at Hartsfield, Atlanta. See how lucky I was to work in all these places? John Wyckoff, Bill Jennings, and Maureen Riley at Orlando. And of course, Gina Marie Lindsey, that wonderful woman in the state of Alaska, and then at SeaTac. Jackie Shuck and Cindy Rich in Cleveland, Dan Orcutt in Indianapolis. This is quite a list. Dr. Fujio Matsuda, we call him Fudge, and Owen Miyamoto in the state of Hawaii, Al Huber in Bakersfield, Sacramento, and Nashville, Jess Torres and Mary Torres in Guam. We always called it Gumbo. Herb Godfrey in Fort Lauderdale, the wild Colonel Griggs in St. Louis, Wilmer Garrett in Fresno, California, Chuck Broman and our beloved Wally in Tucson, and Larry Rader and Bill Willoughby in Philadelphia. I sincerely hope I haven't left anyone out. You're probably glad I don't have more. In closing, I must say I am still in a state of overwhelm about this award. It seems so surreal to me, but please know I am so very, very grateful to ACI-NA, to you, the airport executives and concessionaires, and to the industry at large. Thank you so very, very much. I think it will take a long time for me to feel the full impact of this award, or really what you have done for me. You all made it possible for me to be standing up here right now. In closing, I want to applaud the continual rise of women to major leadership roles in our industry and the incredible contributions they are making to our industry and to the communities they serve. Thank you again for bestowing this amazing award upon me. Thank you.